What's going on, guys? I have 20 minutes, and I just saw a YouTube video where I think everyone that watches this understands that we're in some type of physical reality, but inside so much has happened to us in the past decade, specifically the past 5 years. 5 years ago, almost, just about, in about 2 weeks, 5 years ago, from 2 weeks from now, I had just left the music industry. They were drugging me. I wasn't recognizing the people that I was around. I was having moments where I would be driving in my car, hadn't had any drugs at all. Suddenly I'm getting this wave of hitting my head, and I'm seeing children across the country, specifically wealthy white children, which I'm not. I was Section 8, DCF, parentless my whole life. But I'm seeing all these kids smoking weed, and their third eye blows up and they become zombies. And then I leave my music industry school and I come home, and 3 months later I'm at my friend's house just trying to make my album, just trying to make my music. I still have ideas, I still have a gifted brain. I'm still trying to piece everything and put it together and make something I feel is perfect and is influential and inspirational to others, because of my sitting here contemplating and thinking something I've felt was the closest thing to perfect that I could make. Something I could only describe as you'd have to hear it, but I was so proud of it. And I'm just fighting to try to make it happen. And my friends went crazy off weed. I lost my friends. My family has horrible mental health issues. I never really had a family. I had left high school. I was a senior. Now there's no real future for me because I'm not in the music industry anymore, and I'm back home. My girlfriend that I loved a lot was going in the military. I was getting worse. Something happened to me in the music industry, and I was getting worse. So she left, and I lost them all in one night. And then my car broke down, so I lost my job as a pizza delivery boy. And I said fuck it, and I smashed my car 80 miles an hour into a telephone pole. And I remember hitting the steering wheel. No airbag went off. It just felt like that world ended and I floated into this one. So if I'm in purgatory and you guys are all just like the same AI game developer pre-heaven thing to make sure I have a meaningful experience before I leave this earth, then you already know. But if you're not and you resonate with it, I felt like since then everything's been different. And that's when COVID happened, and I spent most of 2019 up into COVID. I was in public housing with a brain injury, barely here, not able to do anything, just trying to bring in bring in me from before the accident to try to fill up my body and become me again so that I can do what Casey does and go keep pursuing this life mission that I've been on. For my years of traveling as a DCF child and all this stuff that's happened and all these things that I've learned, all these mentors that I had, all this uniqueness and legendary version of myself that I've become, help me bring it back together. Let me channel my skills and push forward so I can contribute and I can collaborate and I can be funny again and I can make girls laugh the way I used to and I could dance and I could be this unique individual light. Put me back in. And it just, for years it didn't work. Eventually I found the right people at the right time. I took Greyhound buses across the country to meet neuroscientists. I went down to meet my old childhood heroes on YouTube that taught me when I was in DCF custody. Watching their YouTube videos about self-help and self-improvement in the game and all these little intricacies of social interactions and how to be a shining light and all that. I went down there to meet him, and everyone I met left crying and inspired and full of light, and realized their life was meaningless because of the energy that I carried and how I influenced my surroundings with my unique individual personality. But it's just been that I went to West Virginia and I worked for a church, and I got them, at the end of it, teaching them all my skills. At the end of it, they went from being almost homeless with 5 kids and 40 cats in their room and a hoarded, messy house living in one mattress in the back, to hopefully cleaning the house with a cab company and a restaurant. Now they have a landscaping company and are very well off. To going to Maine, and I brought the CEO of a major company, like a tow company. I helped him out of his dementia and cancer with what I learned from this, helping my brain injury, and I fixed his life. And then I went around Burlington, Vermont, homeless, and I helped a bunch of kids out of homeless shelters and got them jobs and got them girlfriends and got them hope in life again. And I watched as the crack addicts and the evil presence of Burlington ate those kids alive, and I tried my hardest, but you can't control other people. So I built an army of children that left home with no father figure, like I was in DCF custody, and I got them a meaningful life that they could have rode to become amazing. I'm a 33 life path, Sagittarius, whatever, look it up. I believe it sometimes, but now when I feel empty like this, it's hard. But I understand that. I think that it must have been bad choices of some kind. Like I shifted my year of the cat, which I'm a cat year, to the year of the dragon. I spent it around horrible people, hoping that I could fight their bad habits to change them, to make a difference in order to make millions, because they had a good network of people. But instead it was just them spiritually and psychologically raping me. But I did all this, and now I'm living in an abandoned car. The car works except for the transmission. So I'm gonna try to, and it's one of these cars that they don't have a transmission plug. They have it under the car that you have to lift the car up, and you have to put it underneath and figure out how to do it there. So the car goes in reverse. It's not my car, but it's not anybody's car. The number for the owner that had this car previously, I guess he's on the run from police. He left Vermont and he's somewhere in New York, and he's wanted for fraud. So nobody cares that I have this car. So I'm trying to figure that out. If the car sucks, then I'm going to try to figure out what to do with it. But basically I'm here with $10 in cash. I want to give an accurate, so I have $60 in cash. I have $64. I have a cell phone that has some service, but I'm gonna have to get the $45 card eventually. So I'll be at about $20. I have some food stamps. Right now I've been eating this. Check it out. This is, let me tell you, if you've never eaten out of the dumpster, that's a 5-star meal to me. And I've fought crackheads that wanted to kill my friends. I have argued and humbled police officers that abused their position. I have was someone with absolutely nothing but the drive to persevere, to put myself in a position to make the art that I want to make, to be able to spread it around and wake everybody up to the way that I see life. I have made at least a significant impact for the moments that they allowed my loving relationship to be a part of their system before their pride took over and they ostracized me. I went around and I met community action programs, and I singled out the leaders that I felt had the same special spiritual desire to understand and harmonize inside themselves, you feel me? And I told them my stories, and by telling them my stories, the nuggets of all the stuff that I've learned woke them up, and they went on to become leaders of institutions and organizations that deal with the public in mass. Not Massachusetts, but ENMASSE, you feel me? I'm talking about since I was 7 and my mom forced me into therapy, and I would go back and forth about morality with my therapist, and she quit. She wouldn't take me any longer because I told her, why wouldn't I want to be the bad guy if the bad guys get all the good stuff? The bad guys get the big ship, the bad guys get the hot girls, the bad guys get the red lightsaber, the bad guys get the money, they get the riches, they get all this. Why wouldn't I want to be a bad guy? And she quit. Now I can't stand having a bad thought. But I have so much I can offer. I have so many things I can do. My issue is that without a stable safety net, and I'm talking like maybe like a Jeep Commander or a Sprinter van or a lifted truck with the camper van in the back and a dog, some type of defensible, no problems vehicle to get around Vermont, and then I can get the Skyroam internet that comes in. I saved up, and I'm telling you that my name's Casey Francis O'Brien, and everywhere I go, there's a Brian next to me. The Brian's always got something to do with Lions or Leo, some type of energy vampire thing that they have to tell me about. Like, it feels like an obvious Truman Show. But I got my computer, and I got the part for my computer that has my music on it. I just have to find the right case. This has my album in it. One of them, I have 5 albums that I've been working on for years that I'm really proud of, and I have 2 TV shows that I'm writing with my cousin who does animation, and he sits in Section 8, and all he did for about 10 years is just think about art the same way that I did. I eventually, my aunt's mental health got so bad, I had to force him to leave to go live with his other aunts, and now he has a job, but he feels like he's been ripped out the same way that I have. We don't have the safety net of the rich. We don't have a place to go to at night. We don't have food. I don't have a gun. But I'm using it. I've learned how to build and maintain relationships in a way that inspires people and influences them to make better decisions. And I honestly feel like the relationships that I build, I feel like I have a creative influence because of what Freemasons that just walk up to me on the side of the street and want to tell me about my life path number, tell me that I'm the highest vibration, the most special being that you can have on this earth. And that's why I'm getting beaten down, and I'm getting hit, and I'm getting cut, and I'm getting almost raped, and I'm getting brutalized by police. They're ripping me out of the car and they're searching me, and then they're walking away laughing after stomping on my fucking neck, and then I'm crying and I have no one to talk to because I post on Facebook and everyone leaves me on red because they think I'm crazy and I'm lying. And then I finally make it 2 miles down the road Can't cry, no tears in my eyes. Just fighting, looking for something, looking for a way. Give me something and I'll chase it to the end of the earth. Give me something. Get me out of this fucking mess. And then I'm just crawling and crawling and I'm almost so close to giving up. And then I'm like at the edge of the train tracks and I'm thinking about, I'm just going to lay my head here and wait till it kills me. And then I look over and I find this. So if that were true and we're in a simulation where I'm being watched and I'm being judged by my behavior and I'm being tested constantly to figure out what the problem is, the reason that I think that I can't get to the next level is because I can't focus, I can't hold on to my memories, I'm making poor decisions, and I'm not being assertive when I know that I'm smarter than you, and I know that in the position that we're at, we can get to here if we only adhere to these standards, and you kick out these beliefs and you raise yourself to this paradigm and you focus on this and you outline this and you work with me on this, and then we run towards it. But instead I feel like I'm sitting with a bunch of children that are being brutally attacked by demons and I can see all their bad habits, and I'm just sitting there feeling like Jesus Christ, feeling like a god around all these people that are in different stages of life that I've already been through in my long life, being completely alone since birth. But with all this psychological trauma and these new realms that we're ascending to, because let's be honest, we're in a way more evolved place than we were, or we're moving at. Things are changing, so I'm trying to deal with that. I'm trying to take everything I've learned and try to apply it to what's happening. I'm trying to work with people. They dumped somebody that knows somebody worth $500 million that he talks to regularly, and that he used to have like 5 or 6 million in the bank, made bad decisions, has PTSD, fucked his life up a bunch, and he's stuck at the bottom. And I see that, and I'm about to start healing whatever, and then he goes and smokes all the crack that he has, and then he's cackling, and his wife and him are going like that's how they're going to each other. They're fucking in the bed like this, and they're both over there on crack, and they're like, what, huh? And the cats are coming out with red eyes, and their eyes were down like this, and they're mad, and they're just staring at me. And I'm sitting there in the other room like, clock is ticking, we're about to hit the year of the dragon. The phone is blowing up. Burlington's busy to DoorDash. Burlington's busy to DoorDash. Burlington's busy to DoorDash. I never get notifications for Burlington. But on this one specific night before we take this huge shift in the Chinese zodiac to the year of the dragon, I'm getting all this leave, but I'm like, no, if I can stay and I can fight through and I can hold this love and we can beat up and we can move past the crack that's eating them, and it's like as soon as I get a breakthrough, like, and the channel's going through, and I got them, they come out. They always come out. The cats come out, and I can feel them trying to take it. I can feel like the negative energies, the negative entities that are possessing them are coming out, and they're just... Any crackhead can do 25 push-ups. You're not sharp, Casey. Like they're trying to come up with shit to down me with, to take advantage of the fact that when I open my heart like this, I'm very caring, and I've been through so much that I have such compassion, and I'm still starving. I gave them the rest of my food. I stayed up for days trying to find out government grants I can apply for, how to make money with cryptocurrency, online business, all this shit, so I could finally get a haircut. You feel me? Then I can get money, then I could go be a model, then I could go get a storage unit, and I can start build a live stream setup so I can start not being in the car, and I could have a full studio setup. I could have a home gym for people. I can start to invest in, if I had money, I could invest in gyms for these small towns that don't have a gym, that have dreams and aspirations and have mental health issues they need to process by working out, but they don't have it, so they've resorted to just drinking themselves into oblivion, and there's nothing going on there, and they're being a detriment to their community, while the rich are coming in and buying up everything that we own. and raising the profit value. So where the fuck are we gonna go? This culture that I feel has been isolated from the world and has grown into this amazingly beautiful place that deserves to be kept like a giant nature preserve.